Whew. I didn't think it could get any colder this week than last week. But since you're around your computer, you're probably someplace warm. So how about for the next hour we spend it together? My name is Andrew Rhodes, and welcome to the absolutely, completely random podcast for Saturday, December 17th, 2016. And it has been a long week for me. I can safely say that. But this week, I will be discussing a lot of topics. And thanks to Mother Nature and my supervisor's last action as supervisor, we are able to have this podcast tonight. So, thank you to both. Not so much to Mother Nature, but to my late supervisor, I guess we can say, because she's no longer going to be there with us. She didn't die or anything. She just quit. So that sucks. But tonight I'm going to be talking about the Galaxy Note 7s. Basically about to become a gigantic brick. I'm going to be talking about Shinkai, Your Name. That's right. The movie that just keeps on going. Well, guess what? It's officially number one in China. I'm going to explain why. I'm going to be talking about the Boruto, Naruto Next Generation Anime. That's right, anime. Then again, every otaku out there has pretty much figured that out yet. But I'll explain that later on, too. I'm going to be talking about Frankie Muniz. Everybody remembers Malcolm in the Middle, right? There was a huge show back in the 90s. He's listing his secret Phoenix property. Ooh. There's some, it's actually kind of cool. And many more things, including, just when you thought it was safe to buy an iPhone, we got some massive problems with iPhone 6s apparently catching fire. The iPhone 6S. New Yugioh Anime is on its way. Godzilla 2 and Pacific Rim sequels are getting new names. And a few more things. But beyond that, this week is going to be a long one, as it was with me. But as always, you know the drill. It's time for the sponsor of the absolutely completely random podcast, myself. And you already know the drill. I don't have to explain it again. If you're looking for trading cards, DVDs, action figures, movies, anime shows, what have you, check out A-Roads 2012 on eBay. You know I'm there. You know what I got. If you don't, come check me out. It's all lowercase, ARHOADS hyphen 2012 on eBay. I have nothing but positive feedback, and I take the utmost care in shipping out your item. I really do. So, there you go. There's the sponsor. And let's get into the podcast. Let's dive headfirst into this week. So, here's a little life update. Hopefully only one more week to go of third shift. And I am hoping it's only one more week. The third shift is starting to get to a lot of us, especially me, because a lot of the workers, we're all starting to get on each other's nerves now. Especially winding down at the end of the night, because we want to go home, and a lot of us can't move that fast anymore now at that point in the morning because we've been working all night, and then we start complaining and bitching to one another, and all this is going to happen over time. I know that everybody does, but it just starts to get to the point where you're just getting sick and tired of it. But yeah, so last night though was our supervisor's last night, or at least the leader for us. Her last night was last night. She will be missed. No one will be able to fill her shoes like she did. No one will be able to work with us in harmony as well as she did. I can safely say that. And the in-temp one will only be with us for a week. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think any of us know what exactly is going to happen, and it's kind of scary. But anyway, Caroline, you were a great freight crew leader. Like I said, no one will ever be able to fill your shoes, and basically there will be a empty void in our hearts for years and months to come. You will be missed. Hopefully somewhere down the road we'll all see you again. But if not, take care. We will always think about you, because whoever they get to replace you it will never be as good as you. So as Jimmy Fallon said after Robin Williams died, and it actually holds true here, "Oh Captain, my Captain, you will be missed," and that is true. No truer words were ever spoken. So we have that. And like I said, this is hopefully the last week of it. And by the way, Christmas will be next week, since usually goes up on a Sunday. Christmas will be next Sunday. So, what's the best way to celebrate Christmas? Well, besides spending it with family, friends, or a whole bunch of Jewish people at the Chinese restaurants, like in certain movies. Not A Christmas Story, there was nobody else in that restaurant. But what better way to celebrate the holiday for those that don't really want to be with other people? Well, you can stick around for the absolutely, completely random Christmas podcast special. Will basically be recorded next Saturday. At least that's what I'm planning to do. And I will have it up Christmas Day, and that I am serious on. I will be working hard to get that not only fixed up, ready to go, but up. Won't be anything special visual-wise. Like I said, it's just going to be static images from now on, unless it's something that I really can't explain, like the Alpha 5 thing. Otherwise, it's pretty much just going to be their standard static image of my logo, and there you go. For those of you wondering out there, my snack this week is some jelly wreaths that I got at Boyer's, and a mug root beer. So, let's jump headfirst into this week's podcast by talking about the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. The horrific phone that basically Samsung's took a bath on this. We can just say this in one fell swoop, and in peace and harmony. They have taken a bath on this. Earlier this week, Samsung announced that they will issue one last software update that will disable all Galaxy Note 7 devices. This update, the final update, the kill code basically, will be going out on December 19th, rendering the Note 7 devices completely useless. It will prevent the phone from charging, or all the phones from charging, and will eliminate their ability to work as mobile devices. So they're basically getting bricked. This I kind of think is a double-edged sword, but there's a reason why they're doing this. According to the company, 93% of the Note 7 devices have actually been turned in after they were recalled 3 months ago, following the reports of them bursting into flames because of the phone's battery. Even the quote-unquote, I want to say the replacement ones. There you go. It's been a long week, folks. The replacement phones were even doing it, and they were the recall was expanded for them back in September. But according to the company, we remember the issues basically being the malfunctioning devices responsible for fires in the homes, in cars, and in a few cases, and I'm really glad it only is a few cases, it was mostly just in homes and cars, which were simple, easy, not many people got hurt, if any. But in a few cases, the owners actually had them catch fire and explode in their pockets and or purses. So according to the company, there are still roughly 133,000 Galaxy Note 7 devices unaccounted for in the United States. That's just in the U.S. That's scary. Samsung said in a statement on Friday, "Together with our carrier partners, we will be notifying consumers through multiple touch points to encourage any remaining Galaxy Note 7 owners to participate in the program and to take advantage of the financial incentives available." Basically, just get rid of the damn thing. Take it back to your phone provider. Take it back to whatever store you bought it from. and exchange it for a different phone. A lot of them are doing it pro bono. They won't even charge you. They'll charge you for the newer phone. Some of them aren't, depending on who it is. I know Walmart and Target weren't the last time I looked, but then again, they might be now. I don't know. So in October, though, it expanded the recall in the United States to include all the replacement devices for the company phone. They issued the recall for all the Note 7s in September, and then basically a month later expanded it for the replacements because he found out they were doing that too. Well, like I said when I touched on this a few episodes ago, they should have kind of... This is something that quality control should have caught. And I'll stand by that. They should have caught this. This is something that I think any hardware tester worth their salt would have found. I sure as hell... Anybody would have found this, really. So they kind of messed up big on this one, as far as I'm concerned. And they're paying the price for it. I mean, they're reaping what they sowed in this. They are taking a huge bath on this, too. I think the last time I checked, it was like to the tune of 500 mil, I think. So either way, they are taking a bath on this. It is going to hurt more than they ever imagined it would. And I think that was just the estimate. It could actually be more than that in the end. The Note 7 is banned on airlines and other U.S. public transit systems because of the fire concerns. I think the airlines and that were banning them pretty much right off the bat. So, there's that. At the time the article explaining the kill code coming out, when the article came out, Verizon was basically sticking their thumbs up their ass on this one. And, effectively going, well, we're not taking part of this because we don't want the risk of, the users of the Galaxy Note 7s that won't have another device. Then this way they can still make phone calls. So they weren't gonna push the software upgrade that will eliminate the ability for the Note 7 to work as a mobile device. Basically, if it's taken away the ability for it to charge, it's useless either way, because once the battery dies and it's dead. Sorry, folks. Although, what's ironic is that if these were the main issues that we're having with these phones, I actually have a brilliant idea of something they could do with them. Why don't they just, do like the people did to the Native Americans and give them, to terrorist groups and that. It's like, here you go, consider this a peace offering. The things are going to catch fire and explode. Hey, look, there. It's like the blankets covered in SARS and chickenpox and everything else, But, yeah, I know it's cruel and unintentional, but, it's, somebody had to have thought of it somewhere. I'm just bringing it out. Actually, I think I've read that, too, in a comment. So, according to a story from CNET, T-Mobile's update will come out on December 27th. AT&T's will be on January 5th, and Sprint's on January 8th. And effective today, as I saw this today, Verizon is activating the kill code on January 5th. So you're still going to be able to take them to your family's things. And that's the main reason why these providers aren't doing the kill code right away. Is so that if you don't have another phone because of the holidays and you know how stressful it is, this way you can still use it for emergencies or something. But at this point, who the hell would still have one that they're using it for this? I think a few people are probably just using it as a Wi-Fi device at this point and probably just disconnected it. I don't know. I don't have one. I can't afford one, and I don't want one if it's going to catch fire. But yeah, so it's almost done. The nightmare is almost over. Once these things are bricked, I have a suggestion for what we can do with them. Why don't we build an artificial reef out of them and just build a nice little habitat. But basically, yeah, so Verizon is basically changed their mind on it then in the end, because that was today's, I read. company released the following statement on its website. Samsung will be releasing the Note 7 software update on December 19th, which will basically brick your phone. They can sugarcoat and say it's going to prevent it from charging and eliminate the ability for it to work as a mobile device. It's bricking it. Come on. Verizon will not be pushing the software update to your devices until January 5th. They basically realized that, yeah, we can't be the standalone out in this one. And at first, that was their plan. I could understand it, but come on, it was a fruitless idea to begin with to think that, oh, okay, so we're going to be the only provider of a Galaxy Note 7, so we're going to be the ones providing fire hazards. Yeah, I bet you their lawyers were probably like, no. Look, do the kill code. You had no choice. Because if somebody were to get hurt, Verizon's held responsible for it, and then that's a major-ass lawsuit. Because they won't go after Samsung, because Samsung will go, nope, we released the kill code. We gave out the kill code. There is nothing. We're not responsible for this. And that's basically it. So Verizon would be held responsible if anything would happen then, so yeah. The companies are urging people to please stop using the Note 7. We've all been urging this since it came out. So, everybody's going to be putting this thing to sleep within the first week of January. I think Sprint will be the last in the list here. AT&T and Verizon will be on January 5th. Sprint will be January 8th. And T-Mobile's not even going to give them to the start of next year. They're just going to brick them up on December 27th, which I don't blame them. So, yep. It's time to put the Note 7 out to pasture. It was a bad idea, and it just isn't going to work anymore. So, yep. Bye-bye, and good riddance to the Note 7. You were, as Yoda would say, over your reign is, and not short enough it was. Hopefully, when Samsung comes out with, I'm guessing they're probably going to try like the Galaxy Note 8. It'll probably be next. If they're even going to be able to do anything. I mean, this may actually bankrupt them. I don't know. But quality control testing would probably be a good idea to start with. Actually run the thing in basically huge streams. If it can handle... This is how quality control, in my imagination, always goes for consumer electronics. If it's something that people are going to be using on a daily basis, make sure that it can handle the fullest brunt of whatever you can imagine. I mean, if somebody's just going to be using it for a phone call, make sure this thing can not only make a phone call, but do text messaging at the same time, surf the internet at the same time. Basically, give that thing the run-through of its life. Make that battery work like a dog. And if it burns out that quickly, okay, we got a problem. If it doesn't, sweet. Because there are people that are going to buy a phone to just make phone calls. And then there are people that are going to buy one of these phones to do everything. So, make sure that it can handle the fullest brunt of whatever you're thinking of, and then basically make it so that it can handle worse than that. Then everybody can win. So, there you go. But that's not the only phone issue right now. Yeah, that's right. There's more problems. Apparently, there's smartphones that are allegedly exploding after they're being charged up. Here we go again, folks. The iPhone 6S smartphone is apparently, blowing up and exploding and not good. So, there goes your Christmas presents, boys and girls. The iPhone 6S is now going the way of the Galaxy Note 7. Ain't that great? The much-loved smartphone allegedly explodes after charging, forcing the market to go back to the drawing board. Yeah, the article I pretty much found this morning, so the machines are basically turning against us. I'm wondering if this is the start of Skynet. First it's the smartphones, then it'll be the computers, then it'll be the ATMs, then the televisions. Because you figure at the point when we don't have money anymore, the TVs will still function so that we'll have some false sense of modicum, or false sense, even a modicum of hope, and then they'll stop working and go, oh, you thought you had hope? And then basically give us the middle finger, come to life, and go, try again. They'll be like the Moonanites from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Oh, you thought you had some sort of a modicum of hope, did you? What do you think now, human? Yeah, what do you think now? It'll be something like that. So, the machines are turning against us. We're all screwed. But apparently, multiple iPhone 6s users claim that their devices have been exploding without any sign of warning. They exploded after being charged, forcing Apple to comment on the dangerous situation. Like, Apple really needs this crap right now. I mean, they have multiple issues with other stuff to deal with, and they really need this crap with, oh yeah, we're having battery issues, like Galaxy Note 7, like Samsung. Oh boy. Well, you know what? Maybe they can fix it with a battery replacement. I mean, how come Samsung didn't try that idea? Like, you know what? Maybe we can try to make a battery that's like cushioned or something. Maybe that'll prevent the overload. Oh well, too late now. We're bricking the damn things. So needless to say, keep your eyes peeled. If they can't fix this, if Apple can't fix their problems with the iPhone 6s, we're liable to have those things getting bricked up. It seems like lately, at least in my opinion, that every time we have one wonderful piece of technology, it starts to go haywire. We got to take 6 steps backwards for every 1 step we go forward. I know that's not exactly progress, but we're kind of getting screwed over here. I mean, we take 1 step forward, 6 steps back. So, but happily, that's the end of the bad news when it comes to smartphones this week. So, let's talk about Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah. Everybody remembers that show, right? From the 90s, starring Malcolm, Hal, Reese, Dewey, Lois, Francis, and all the other characters they added in over the years. I like Piama. She was a really good character to play Francis's wife. That was really cool. I forget the name of the actress. But it was a really good show. Ran for a few seasons on Fox. Then it went into syndication on FX and FXX. So, you wonder, where are they now? And this is almost the time when I feel like I need that guy from Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous to talk, and I cannot do his voice to save my life. And I'm not even going to try, so. But Frankie Muniz is listing his secret Phoenix property for sale. Wow, he's selling his 1930s-era mansion in Phoenix. According to the Phoenix Business Journal, the 4-bedroom estate is on the market for $3.5 million, which is $3.5 million. That's cool. The posh property, known as Il Segreto, or The Secret. Oh, well, that's nice. Oh, hey, just look at that. I just learned some Spanish. Hey, I can try that out next time I go to Temple. Next time I want to go to the Walmart in Temple, I can try that out. That's pretty cool. It features a luxe... I'm guessing that's supposed to be lush. Oh, who cares? Landscaping and water features. That'll make you forget that you're in the middle of the desert. Yes, you're just sitting there watching your koi fish, I guess, in a pond somewhere, and thinking, man, I love having my own tropical oasis. You see somebody walking through the desert dying of thirst. They're about to collapse, and it's like, bet that poor SOB wishes they were in here. I wouldn't doubt it, too. I mean, that's kind of stupid having a big-ass, something like that with water and everything else to make you forget you're in the desert when you're in the desert. Yeah. So, if you're looking for a tranquil getaway in the desert and aren't afraid of the water bill that's likely to come with maintaining a property like that, hey, take a shot at it. I mean, it had Frankie Muniz live there. So, might be cool, might not be, I don't know. Excuse me 1 second. And I apologize, I'm still fighting my cold yet. Didn't get any better this week by having to sit out in the cold car waiting to start work, especially when the temperature really dropped on Thursday night into Friday morning. That really did not help. So they had in the article they had pictures of what the inside looked like. I'm not really fond of it. I'm not sold on it, so I could care less. The properties, according to Realtor.com, the property's lush greenery welcomes you. The architecture of the Il Serghetto is bungalow inspired, even if it's actually far larger than a typical bungalow. The original and restored finishes blend seamlessly together to create a unified aesthetic. The best example of this is in the kitchen, which combines modern appliances with quaint touches like the wrought iron chandelier, a rustic island, and a tile backsplash. Well, at least they're not using colors to describe taste. That's pretty good. Classic architecture meets modern convenience in the kitchen. Rustic charm meets modern convenience in the kitchen, according to Realtor.com. But the Il Serghetto's true charms lie outside. The property features fountains, pools, and gorgeous gardens. To take advantage of the garden view, the home features floor-to-ceiling windows in the main house and a guest house on the property. Who the hell cares if you got a desert oasis? Oh yeah, hey, come by and visit me. I have a guest house and you got a view of my garden. It cost me about $3,000 just to run the water, like $3,000 plus just to run the water to feed all those plants. But damn if it don't look green. Oh, good God. There's also a bocce court fireplace and or bocce court fireplace and kitchen and dining area on the outside. Perhaps the home's real secret is how it maintains the lush elegance in the middle of the desert. But they'll never tell. It's called water, jackasses. It basically means that they're taking a huge amount of water from somewhere and pumping it into those plants and gardens and making them lush and green and killing somebody down the road like an antelope or something. So, it's basically he's selling his property. If you interested, check it out. But then again, anybody listening to my podcast that's got $3.5 million to blow, I could use the money. I'm not going to lie. Alright, let's move off of Frankie Muniz and let's talk about another boy wonder. Boruto! The next generation of Naruto is finally getting the anime series that it deserves. Yeah, who hasn't seen this coming, basically? Holy crap, the wind really is blowing. Sorry about that if anybody heard the train whistle. Can hear that depending on which way the wind blows where I live. That's kind of cool. But during the Jump Fest on Saturday, which basically would have been yesterday in Japan, Naruto and Boruto manga creator Masashi Kishimoto said that I plan to make it even better than Naruto in regards to Boruto finally getting the anime. Now, otakus have pretty much figured this out since the Naruto series is just continuing with fillers, even though we have ended the series. I mean, come on. Naruto and Sasuke have taken down Kaguya. They have basically won the day. Nope. We're just going to have a continuation go. You know what? Screw it. Who cares? The fans knew why they were doing it. And they're mostly doing it just so that they could get Boruto, some filler, so that they could increase the amount of chapters so they have something to actually produce. And if you think about it, that's fine, because you're basically going to be taking the movie that they did anyway and converting that, and that's like a couple chapters. So, yeah, it's fine. People can't really complain about it. It's going to be the spiritual successor to Naruto. That's an understatement. Is it going to sell as many as the Naruto manga did? Oh, definitely. It's probably going to sell more because people will be able to give it to the next generation to read. Hey, you remember, I read this when I was your age. Now you can read this. The next generation. But they actually have a cast list. And I'm going to try my best to say the names without butchering them too bad. Yuko Sanpei will be voicing Boruto Uzumaki. That's cool. Junko Takarichu will be doing Naruto Uzumaki. Ryuichi Kijima will be doing Mitsuki. And Kokoro Kikuchi will be doing Sadara Uchiha. And I apologize if I butchered any of those names. I probably did. You can just yell at me later. So yeah, the Boruto manga launched in Weekly Shonen Jump on May 9th. It's based on as a sequel to the original Naruto manga, with Boruto being the titular main character in this one. He's basically the protagonist. No, duh. It's like in the movie. Come on. The manga's second completed volume shipped out in Japan on December 2nd, and the manga volumes have more than 1 million copies in print. So it's needless to say this is going to do gangbusters in Japan. That's a given. It's going to sell like hotcakes. It is going to go, without a doubt, for a few years. So yeah, I look forward to it. Yeah. Alright. There you go. Speaking of anime series, Yu-Gi-Oh's 6th anime series has already been announced and will premiere in Japan spring of next year. And then, I gotta admit, they had a picture of the design for it, and I really liked it for the main character. No, it's gonna be a new protagonist named Yusaku. Oh yeah, this is gonna be cool. Yusaku Fujiki. Oh wow, that's gonna be cool. Can't wait to see what they're gonna name that person here in the U.S. But Shueisha announced at the Jump Fest on Saturday that the Yu-Gi-Oh anime franchise is getting the 6th anime in the series. And no offense, it keeps going and going and going. It's like the Energizer Bunny, and I love that it keeps going because I'm a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! I still collect the cards yet. And speaking of which, this would be a good segment for that. If you're, for some free publicity for another eBay seller, if you're in the market for Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards in multiple quantities, and I don't have what you're looking for, well, I know of a eBayer that might. Check out Lovin' the Taco. And I'm not joking, that is the eBay user's name. Check out Lovin' the Taco for Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. They have a lot of good stuff. Excuse me. Like I said, I apologize for that. Like I said, I'm still fighting my cold yet. The theme for the new work is, let's take one step forward and try it. Yusaku hates standing out, and at his school he doesn't. However, he starts meeting others through duels and starts moving forward. You know what? I'm looking forward to this. I love anything Yu-Gi-Oh! Related. And Arc V is really cool. I haven't seen much of it since it airs on Nicktoons, but you can watch it online too. It isn't bad, the bits that I saw, and I do appreciate that. And let's not forget more onto this. The latest movie in the anime franchise, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions, opened in Japan on April 23rd and still is scheduled to premiere in the U.S. on January 27th of next year. So, we got the movie coming out to the U.S. We got Arc V running strong here in the U.S. And we got the 6th season, the 6th anime series in and on the horizon for a spring 2017 release in Japan. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Train just keeps running, and I love it. Love it. I do. So, there really isn't really anything bad about Yu-Gi-Oh that I can ever find. I mean, okay, I have classmates that say that it's a joke and that I was an idiot and an asshole for following it and playing it, and all I gotta say to that is, what I do is my business, and just that, mine. So, let's move on to the next subject, and I know the perfect one to segue it into. Remember Shinkai's Your Name? Of course you do. I talked about him multiple times here on the podcast. Well, I get to talk about it again because it has become the #1 Japanese film of all time in China. That's right, in China. It earned 533 million yuan. And for those of you that don't know what that means, that's the Chinese currency. Yuan. Y-U-A-N. There you go. And now you know. Because knowledge is power. I had to get that one in there. That's basically roughly 76.6 million US dollars. And it surpassed Stand By Me, Doraemon. Now, I like Doraemon. You will never hear me argue that. Yeah. So basically, Kimi no Nawa, or Mikoto Shinkai's Your Name, the film has earned 533 million yuan, like I said, or 9.02 billion yen in China as of today, thus becoming the highest grossing Japanese film in China to date. According to Chinese movie ticketing website Maoyan.com, Your Name surpassed the 530 million yuan earnings of the previous record holder, last year's Stand By Me, Doraemon. And here's the kicker for this too, folks. These are the only 2 Japanese movies that are actually in China. Go figure on that one. Shinkai's latest film opened in China on December 2nd and has already earned the biggest opening weekend of any Japanese animated film in China. I want to see this now more than ever. See, if this is this good, I really want to see this now. This is almost like I have to see this. This is now going to be a staple. Okay, you're into anime? Check out Your Name. Why? Because that's an anime. It's a movie you're going to love. It's not an anime series, but it is a movie you're going to love it, and damn, you can't complain about it. So check it out. That's what it's going to be. It sold 30 million yuan, which is about 450 million yen, or 4.4 million US dollars in pre-sale tickets as of its opening day. The film then opened in as many as 7,000 theaters in China on December 2nd and sold 2.77 million tickets for 70 million yuan. That's 1.2 billion yen, or $10.9 million. On 66,000 screenings on its first day. It then earned another 17.4 million more on its second day, and Shinkai personally came to Beijing to promote his film last month. So this is really cool. Now this movie has earned, are you ready for this, ladies and gentlemen? There's a lot of zeros with this one. Fact to be, I would love to have this as a paycheck. I think anybody would. This would be really cool. Are we ready, folks? It has earned, to date, as of Monday, it has earned 20 billion 510 million dollars, or million yen, which comes out to $177.6 million. It surpassed the 20.3 billion yen earnings of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. The Your Name film is now the 4th highest grossing film of all time in Japan, the 2nd highest grossing Japanese film in Japan, and the 2nd highest grossing anime film in Japan. The only movie that it has to beat anymore is Spirited Away. And at this rate, I mean, okay, it's slowing down a little bit, but I don't see that being a problem yet. It could still possibly do it but it would have to really pick up steam. And with the holiday coming up, they'd be idiots to yank it out of theaters now. They could actually make it because a lot of people might go and see it over the holidays and go, oh, check it out. And there you go. If it manages to beat Spirited Away, I'm going to be shocked. Because I've seen Spirited Away. It's on my list of top 10 movies to own that are anime related. It is wonderful. It earned 20 billion yen in the Japanese box office as of last week, when it announced IMAX screenings will be held in Japan for 2 weeks, starting on January 13th. Oh, there you go, folks. It's going to beat it if it's going to get IMAX screenings now. Oh, there you go. The film is unrolling. Well, what the hell? Okay, that's a new word. Into 92 countries and territories, including the United States, through Funimation. I have got to see this, so come on, Funimation, don't screw us. The latest film has topped the Japanese charts for 9 straight weekends since it opened back in August. And its 10th weekend, it dropped to number 2, only because Death Note Light Up the New World came out, and anybody knows that anything Death Note related in Japan is going to take off, and then the reality is going to set in. But it regained the top spot in the 11th week, and it stayed in the top spot for the 12th and 13th weekends. So this came out on August 26th. It is now December 17th, and it's 20 billion yen. 20 plus billion yen. Okay. Japan would be fools to let the Makoto Shinkai go. Come on, Makoto, come out with a new movie. Really, I mean, that's freaking gangbusters. That is huge. No movie here in the U.S. has even come close to doing that, except for like maybe Harry Potter. I can definitely tell you that stupid World of Warcraft movie bombed big time, so there's that. The Stand By Me Doraemon film was the first Japanese film to get a general release in China, by the way, in 2 years. And this is what I was alluding to earlier. Because China's blocked Japanese films back in 2013 and 2014 due to diplomatic disputes at the time. While only 2 Japanese films received a nationwide release in China last year, 11 received a nationwide release this year. So, it's not doing too bad. But the fact that it's become it's a rare movie in China, basically, if you understand it that way and you read between the lines, that's freaking great. So, I'm excited. I'm happy. Way to go. And congratulations to Makoto Shinkai. I'm telling you. Congratulations, man. You nailed it. I haven't seen it yet, but you nailed it. I want to see it. Fact to be, I'd like to review it. That's an idea. I'd like to review the movie. So come on, Funimation. Get the rights to make a DVD of it, and I would like a review copy, and I will review that thing. As if I find something wrong with it, it ain't gonna be nothing. It ain't gonna be a big thing. I can tell you that. It'll probably be something minute and small. But speaking of movies, let's talk about Legendary's Godzilla 2 and Pacific Rim Maelstrom, the sequels to both Godzilla, to the 2014 Godzilla and to Pacific Rim. Well, they're getting new titles. Really? I kind of like Pacific Rim Maelstrom. That sounded really cool. Oh well. So, what are they going to be called now? Well, according to Legendary Pictures that announced this on Wednesday, the sequel to the 2014 train wreck that was Godzilla will be now called Godzilla, King of Monsters. And the title for Pacific Rim Maelstrom, the sequel to Pacific Rim, will now be called Pacific Rim Uprising. Now, I have to admit, I still like Pacific Rim Maelstrom, But I could see Uprising being a little easier to roll off the tongue when you're standing in line at the theaters. I can see that. I'd like 2 for Pacific Rim Maelstrom, please. But then again, most of the time when I go to the movies, I usually just go, oh yeah, I'd like 2 for Pacific Rim. Or I'll take 1 for Pacific Rim if I'm going by myself. Or if it's a movie that has like the rest of it, I'll just see what the first part of it is. They'll know what I'm talking about because there's only one of it up there. No movie has ever shown a prequel and a sequel at the same time. So that's kind of neat. Scriptwriter Michael Dougherty and Zach Shields from Krampus are penning a script for Godzilla King of Monsters. Godzilla King of Monsters is currently slated for a March 22nd, 2019 release, while the planned Godzilla vs. Kong crossover film is slated for a May 29th, 2020 release. I personally hope that Godzilla vs. Kong does not happen. Then again, I personally hope that Godzilla King of Monsters doesn't happen. I think they had a movie called Godzilla King of Monsters, so we're now ripping off other Godzilla franchises. I'd have to double check that. And by the way, like I was saying before, America, stop making Godzilla movies! We suck at it! I mean that we suck at making Godzilla movies! You know it and I know it! 2014 Godzilla sucked. 1998 Godzilla sucked. And we're basically repeating history. Why? I'll tell you why. Because we as Americans are stupid. I don't understand the whole concept of it. But we gotta keep making crappy Godzilla movies. Leave it to Japan. They know what they're doing. That's their baby. They don't come over here and tell you, okay, this is how you're gonna make this movie. No! Don't do it to them. So, that's all the more I want to touch on the Godzilla movie. I really don't like the Godzilla movie. I love the Japanese versions, but I hate the American versions. And Bryan Cranston couldn't even save that train wreck. But as far as Pacific Rim, though, I will talk about that till I'm blue in the face. It will debut in theaters on February 23rd, 2018. At least that's their goal. I'm still trying to figure out a way that you're going to have a movie where you basically destroy the villains at the end of it. But then again, Death Note did that with the first movie that they came out with based on the anime series, where you basically kill Light at the end of it, and then you're making a sequel. Okay. Whatever. Let's see here. Filming has begun for the Pacific Rim Uprising in Sydney, Australia. The staff crew will also shoot a short portion of the film in China. Dr. Jack Gao, an executive at Beijing Wanda Cultural Industry Group, which owns Legendary Entertainment, stated that the sequel story has a strong connection to China. Okay. John Boyega, Star Wars Force Awakens Finn, is playing the lead role in the film as the son of Idris Elba's Stacker Pentecost character from the first film. Oh, God, Stacker Pentecost. Oh, boy, that'll be cool. Actress and singer Cailee Spaeny, counting to 1,000, is playing the lead female role in the film. Suicide Squad actor Scott Eastwood, the Great Wall actress Jing Tian, the Belko experiments Adria, Arjona, and Japanese actor Mackenyu are also cast in the film. Shyrley Rodriguez, the Get Down, and Chinese actors Zhang Jin, the Grandmaster, Wesley Wong, Lily G, Chen Zitong. I'm not making any of these names up either, by the way. Because this is exactly from the article. Lan Yingying, that's wow, okay, and Qian Yongchen, and I apologize. I guarantee you I butchered at least 90% of that, and I highly apologize for that. I can do Japanese names like it's nobody's business, but you give me Chinese names, I'm going to mess that shit up. I apologize for that. I've also joined the cast. The film will also feature cameos by Xiao Yang and Korean actor Kim Jeong-Hoon. Oh, God. Oh, okay. I'm not making that up either. And just in case you're wondering, you want to Google search it, it's KIMJEONG-HOON. Okay? I'm not making it up. So, that's cool. Stephen S. D. Knight, showrunner and director on Netflix Daredevil series, is directing the film. So we're basically having one character that's supposed to be the offspring of Stacker Pentecost, and we're not having anybody. We're not having like the love child from Beckett and Mako. Oh, come on! I was hoping to see their love child in this movie. That ain't fair. Come on. Oh well. Oh, alright, whatever. But that's not fair. I was hoping to see their love child in this. Like, oh yeah, this takes place years or something after the first one. And their child is now the sole savior of the world. I was kind of hoping for that. Oh well. But yeah, I do apologize for butchering those names, and I'm not making it up. I actually do have the list here, and I will include it in the description below. I'm not making that up, so that you can basically see that I was really struggling with this. I'm just gonna copy and paste that in there. I'm not joking. That is really wow. So yeah. But holy crap, that's just, wow. So many names. So many names that I messed up on that. Wow. Alright, so I can see by the clock here we're starting to run out of time, but I can still do a couple other things. I had no Q&A this week. However, I do have... Drum roll, please. Thank you. I actually do have a neat little movie review. Ha 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 ha. And this one takes you back to some classic 80s cheese. And by classic 80s cheese, I mean... it is classic 80s that you could just sit there, watch it the whole day, and never get tired of it. I, of course, am talking about the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito classic, Twins. Yeah, you thought I was talking about Junior there, huh? No, I'm talking about Twins. The sweet, sweet movie about two people that were part of a genetic government experiment where one of them becomes... an entity of pure goodness, and the other one's pretty much to run off crap, according to the one character. But it's a great movie, and definitely comedic for the time. Highly funny, and somewhat educational, too. If you get a chance, check it out. I actually give it 4.5 out of 5, and I'm not joking on that. The reason why it gets a half is because there are some inconsistencies, and it is kind of fast. Like, they left a lot of it on the cutting room floor that they didn't necessarily need to. And at the end of the movie, spoiler, by the way, for those of you that haven't seen it, they screw up one major plot point. Basically that being the, $5 million, $5 million, $5 million, then basically going, oh, you mean the $4 million. And it wasn't a joke of, I took $1 million out of the briefcase and said, screw you. No, it was basically the, it was only $4 million. We've been saying $5 million the entire movie. And that's when I'll go, that's when I'm like, so that's why it gets a half off. But otherwise, it is a good movie. I recommend it. Highly recommend it. And I do mean that. It is a good movie. Alright, so it's 55 minutes into the podcast, which means that it's getting close to the hour, which means that it's time for us to soon part our ways. Like Shenron said, I'm running out of energy, and I must soon go recharge. And like I said, it's been a long week for me. I'm tired-ish. So, don't forget to tune in next week for the absolutely completely random Christmas podcast special, or I should just call it the absolutely completely random podcast Christmas special. Maybe I'll come up with a new logo for it if I get a chance this week. That's an idea. Shouldn't take me too long to come up with that. I mean, it took me about a day and a half to make the logo that you see now. But like always, if you have any questions or topics for future podcast episodes, send me an email at acrpodcast@gmail.com. If you have any, if you just want to say hi, or tell me how much you like or hate the podcast, anything I can improve upon it, or if you just want to tell me to go fuck myself. Hey, it's not the first time I've ever heard it, won't be the last. Send it to acrpodcast@gmail.com. If you would like to sponsor the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast, I'll kiss your ass and call it ice cream if you want. You can send any idea or any emails of that nature to acrpodcast@gmail.com. I can safely say don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos here on YouTube. And I am looking into possibly trying to get this up on another medium, like iTunes or something. It will always be up on YouTube. I think I'm going to be doing YouTube a lot more. It's not SoundCloud, so I don't have to worry about freaking time limits, since my videos can be as long as I want them to be now. Yay, YouTube! So long as I don't violate copyright things and my channel stays in good standings, which it always does. I don't do anything that could piss people off. But basically, I guess it's time to wrap this thing up. So like I said, if you have any questions, topics, or anything else, you know where to send it to, acrpodcast@gmail.com. I am always checking that at least once or twice a week. And I mostly just get things that tell me, oh yeah, so-and-so liked your one of your tracks on SoundCloud, and nothing more. Would be nice. Somebody could just send me an email and say hi. I don't care. Like I said, tell me, you can tell me to go F myself. Not the first time I've ever heard it, won't be the last time I've ever heard it. I guarantee you that. And I guess that's about it then for this week's episode of the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. I was going to touch on the whole David Tennant getting to play Scrooge McDuck thing, but I think that's self-explanatory. The DuckTales thing's coming out, rebooting it, and David Tennant's going to get to play it. So not really much to say. You can check that out, Google it. Rest in peace, Alan Thicke. He passed away this week. And like I said at the start of it, good luck to my former freight crew leader, Caroline. You will be missed. No one will ever be able to replace you. And until next week, I am your host, Andrew Rhodes, saying goodbye, farewell, and good night and good luck. And all that other fun jazz, like I say every week. And until next time, I will catch you on the flip side. Don't forget to like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye, everybody!